Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. I want you to think back to the last time you traveled outside of your home country. Everyone knows that date. For me, it was Sunday, March 8th, 2020. For an entire year, I have not been outside of Canada. Now, more importantly, if you rewind 365 days, let's use my travel as a reference. Have you become a more bored person? Have you become more burned out? Or have you become better? What kind of person have you become over the last year? Better, and I'm happy for this. Meaningful Mornings is a workshop to encourage us not to fall into being burned out or bored, but to be better, irrespective of circumstance. And I feel our circumstance is going to change soon. I already shared with the seekers in Easy Evenings that we will finish Easy Evenings in May because everyone's circumstance will change. In our last verse of Bhagavad Gita, Prince Arjuna, he is evolving from seeing to feeling. The conflict inside of him, outside of him, was almost intellectual until he was put in that experience. And he's starting to feel this now. There's a shift in scenes now, and I'm going to review the scenes of chapter 1 before we continue. Scene 1, Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya what is happening in Kurukshetra. They are in a palace. Scene 2, we're in Kurukshetra and Duryodhana is acting egotistically with Drona. Scene 3, Acharya Bhishma, who's overseeing all, he doesn't want this to devolve into freeze. This fight needs to happen, and so he blows his conch, and everyone else does too. Scene 4, Prince Arjuna is focused on how he comes, what he tells Shri Krishna to do. This is a Rajasic Prince Arjuna. This is a worldly confidence Prince Arjuna. And this all changes with verse 28. And that's why we don't have music either. You see the entertainment value, the attention to detail. Kripaya paraya vishto vishidan idam abravit Arjuna uvacha drishtve mam swajanam Krishna yuyutsam samupastitam. Any of these verses, when you study them in a text, half a verse is put here and half a verse is put there. I'm keeping this quite simple. 2 lines. What does Sanjaya describe about Prince Arjuna? Avishto, he is filled with paraya, a deep kripaya, pity. His feeling is one of deep pity. And the insight into all of this, he is feeling overwhelmed. And he's justifying feeling overwhelmed that he cares about everyone who's involved in this conflict. Whenever one feels overwhelmed, they become deactivated. Think about when you're overwhelmed by work you have to do, feelings towards another. Then what do? Nothing. Deep kripa, which is compassion or pity, should activate us to do something to address this. Vishidan idam abravit. And so he said in a sad way, Prince Arjuna's rajas or aggression is devolving into tamas or sadness. Prince Arjuna shares, Drishta imam swajanam. He's telling Krishna, I see, you see too. These are swajanam. These are our people. We were born together. Yuyutsam samupastitam, and they're arrayed, they're eager to fight. He is finding someone to speak to. And who else to speak to? Shri Krishna. Madhusudana Saraswati has shared, Prince Arjuna's feeling is spontaneous. And he uses the word spontaneous. We can infer that his feeling is temporary, emotional. This is not a logical, sound feeling. It came in fast, and so it's going to go fast too. How Prince Arjuna is speaking and how he's feeling, those are not aligned. And so much more will come out. From verse 28 all the way to verse 46, that's around 20 verses, these are all Prince Arjuna's justifications to not engage in his responsibility. All of these verses, we'll go one by one, show his wrong thinking. And wrong thinking leads to wrong feelings, wrong actions. From inspiration to application. Your application from Friday was you feeling that your time is running out. Does anyone want to share their observations from what they reflected upon, how their day, how their weekend changed? Here's an insight. How do you gauge how great someone is? How do you gauge how great someone is? The gauge of greatness is how one uses their intellect. And a function of the intellect is prioritizing. If you feel you're running out of time, you do that which is important, correct? So this was your application. Are you prioritizing the functional, or are you prioritizing the fundamental? Our time is running out. And this is even more precarious because, like with a video game or a credit card balance, you can see when it's running out. Here you can't see that. So we should just always feel that it's running out. Your application for this morning. This Thursday is Mahashiva Ratri. It is as if the birthday of Bhagwan, of God. As if, okay? I'd shared this in one place and someone said, God doesn't have a birthday. I also know that. But this is to develop a bhava, a feeling for us. Mahashivratri is the most important utsava, opportunity to uplift oneself in the whole year. It is the most sattvic utsava. And what this means is, this is the chance to become more sattvic. We are like Prince Arjuna in the sense of, we tend to be aggressive, extrovert. On Mahashivaratri, you have to put an end to that rajas, to that extroversion. That has to become ratri, meaning shut down. Now, whenever we are not inputting, what do we tend to do? Sleep. We devolve into tamas, just like Prince Arjuna. With this in mind, your application is, for all of us, for all of you, to register for the High Five Challenge. Starting on Thursday, March 11th, and continuing to April 21st, that's a Wednesday, which is Bhagwan Rama's Jayanti. All of us are going to aspire to not remain rajasic, but to uplift ourselves to sattva by sleeping early. Many of you wrote today's manye for me. It was a demanding weekend, and so I'm just exhausted right now. And I was thinking to myself, I'm just going to start tonight. I just need to sleep earlier. And I'm saying that. I'm sure this applies to all of us. Sleep early, wake early, study early. And so much of this is facilitated by meaningful mornings. Walk early. This week in Ontario, in Niagara Falls, the temperatures will be 10 degrees Celsius, 11 degrees Celsius. And most importantly, sync early. SYNC. To go from Dvaita or two-ness to Advaita or oneness. It is the ego that doesn't ask for forgiveness or give forgiveness. And that's why all of this is a build-up for sync early. We already have around 75 seekers who have registered just in the last 12 hours. And now another 400 will, yes? I don't want Mahashivratri to be an event. So many make it about that. Pour this, chant this. This is to be a movement, is to lead to development. That's in the chat. This is shared all over social media. And today is International Women's Day. A joyous International Women's Day to all of you. Again, we celebrate this event. Make your Divine Mother proud. Make her proud of the way that you're thinking and speaking and acting. That is the way to celebrate International Women's Day. And in a lovely way, this Friday is our Devi Satsang, our women's empowerment class. So keep track of that. Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be happiness.